its editor-in-chief share a smear of Ivanka Trump. DNA evidence on the knife indicated that he might not be the killer, and now with just hours left to live, a condemned inmate gets a surprise lifeline from the governor. But why did this take nearly 2 decades? Good afternoon and welcome to The Lead. I'm Jake Tapper. Tonight, President Trump will take the stage in Phoenix, Arizona for an unscripted campaign rally, we're told. Comes fresh off a speech last night in which the president laid out his priorities, a few actual policy details, for a path forward in Afghanistan. The question, of course, for tonight, will the president echo what he said in his scripted, teleprompted address last night, calling out bigotry and prejudice, urging Americans to come together with love and in peace, or, as is his wont, when speaking before adoring crowds and freed from the constraints of his teleprompter, might President Trump come closer to expressing something slightly more divisive? That's the question. CNN White House correspondent Sarah Murray is live in Phoenix for us. And Sarah, even elected officials there are not exactly rolling out the welcome mat. The Democratic mayor of Phoenix asked the president to delay the rally, and the Republican senators there are both at odds with President Trump.
That's right, Jake. You can expect President Trump's words to be closely scrutinized here today as he takes the stage in a state where both Republican senators, Jeff Flake and John McCain, have been harsh critics of the president. In fact, Jeff Flake's challenger is even expected to attend the rally, and everyone will be watching to see what is the president's tone tonight. Is it another talk about unity, or is it something harsher? From commander-in-chief to campaigner-in-chief. A day after President Trump addressed the nation on his Afghanistan strategy.
I am here tonight to lay out our path forward in Afghanistan.
He's hitting the road in Arizona amid deep divisions. Even the mayor of Phoenix implored Trump to hold off on tonight's event, as anger simmers over the president's reaction to violence from white supremacists in Charlottesville.
Steadfast.
On Monday, Trump sought to diffuse those tensions before his remarks on Afghanistan.
When we open our hearts to patriotism, there is no room for prejudice, no place for bigotry, and no tolerance for hate.
Then Trump outlined his approach to the nearly 16-year war there, a conflict he once argued America should withdraw from.
My original instinct was to pull out, and historically, I like following my instincts. But all my life, I've heard that decisions are much different when you sit behind the desk in the Oval Office.
The president offering his signature tough talk.
We are not nation building again. We are killing terrorists.
But few specifics on how many troops he would commit or how he would define success, even as he promised victory.
We will defeat them, and we will defeat them handily.
And while he slammed his predecessor, Trump's plan to use military might to wipe out terrorists and diplomatic pressure to cajole Pakistan in many ways echoed the Obama administration's strategy. Now Trump is asking Americans to place their trust in him at a time when many have deep misgivings. A Washington Post ABC News poll shows 56% of Americans disapprove of Trump's response to Charlottesville. Just 28% approve. House Speaker Paul Ryan, in a CNN town hall, said Trump fumbled his response by equivocating white supremacists with counter-protesters.
I do believe that he messed up in his comments on Tuesday when it sounded like a moral equivocation, or at the very least moral ambiguity, when we need extreme moral clarity.
But Vice President Mike Pence is leaping to Trump's defense.
I know this president. I know his heart. And I heard him. I heard him on the day that the Charlottesville tragedy happened, when he denounced hate and violence.
Now, before the president arrives here in Phoenix, he'll be visiting Yuma, where he'll be doing a tour of border enforcement materials there. Now, once he gets here, one of the things we'll be watching for tonight is what exactly the president has to say about controversial Sheriff Joe Arpaio. He told Fox News he was considering pardoning the sheriff. He's been held in contempt of court for violating a judge's order in a racial profiling case. So far, no word if Trump will mention that tonight. Jake.
All right, Sarah Murray in Arizona for us today. Thank you so much. With Steve Bannon, the president's now fired chief strategist back in charge. The far-right news website Breitbart is blasting President Trump's Afghanistan strategy. That's a strategy opposite what Bannon had advised and opposite the president's America First anti-interventionist rhetoric. President Trump reportedly had been concerned about the damage Bannon might be able to do from outside the White House, and now new emails obtained by CNN provide insight into just how nasty it might get and how low the editor-in-chief of Breitbart might be willing to go, including sharing a personal smear against first daughter Ivanka Trump. War was how one of Breitbart's senior editors responded to Chief Strategist Steve Bannon's ouster from the White House last week. Now a self-described email prankster posing as Bannon has fooled top staff at the right-wing website into spilling how that war might play out. The real Steve Bannon returned to Breitbart as executive chairman Friday, just as the fake Bannon was sending emails to editor-in-chief Alex Marlow. The topic? Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump. So do you think you'll have them packed and shipping out before Christmas? The prankster asked. The very real Marlow replied, "Let me see what I can do. Hard to know given your description of them as evil. I don't know what motivates them. If they are semi-normal, then yes, they out by end of year." The prankster, who tweets under the name Sinan Reborn, shared numerous emails with CNN. In the exchanges, Marlow pledged that he and several other top editors would do Bannon's dirty work against certain Trump White House aides. "I spooked them today," Marlow said in one response to the man he thought was Steve Bannon. "Did 5 stories on globalist takeover, positioning you as only hope to stop it. You need to own that. Just have surrogates do the dirty work. Boyle, Rahim, me, Tony have been waiting for this," Marlow added, referring to Breitbart Washington editor Matthew Boyle, Breitbart London editor-in-chief Rahim Kassam, and Breitbart reporter Tony Lee. Breitbart's editor-in-chief also shared with the fake Bannon an unfounded and unsubstantiated personal smear of first daughter Ivanka